What we wanted for Atfaal was to experience something that they've never done. They've always seen us, Khuddam, elder Muslims, go to Capitol Hill and do things, make waves, but they never got to taste or feel that themselves. We wanted to give them that opportunity.
And today we came to Washington from different states. I'm from Houston, some people came from LA, Maryland, a bunch of places.
We had interviews with congressmen, and we were telling them our support for the bill HR 2902.
The bill states that religion, gender, things like that should not have you bullying other kids.
Bullying is basically the meanest thing someone can do to someone.
It's a big issue in today's society, and we just came to talk to them and get their support.
We talked about the Safe Schools Improvement Act of 2015. We told them that 64% of people who get bullied in schools don't tell anyone about it.
It was really emotional seeing all these young kids just trying to make an impact on such a big issue, and coming in and talking to such big people and them actually listening and taking out the time and talking back to them.
Having kids come in really puts into perspective what to the congressmen or staffers what is really happening.
This issue of bullying is one that's surfaced here recently in Dallas. There was a young, again, Muslim child who was intimidated by not only classmates, but in fact, the school system.
14-year-old high school student arrested for bringing a homemade clock to school. His teacher thought the device was a bomb.
I think this wouldn't even be a question if his name wasn't Ahmed Mohammed.
There was no bomb squad that was called. There was no classes that were canceled. No one was sent home. Children were not sent home. This was not something they actually perceived to be a real credible threat. This was something done to bully and shame a child for being Muslim.
My friend Lino, he got bullied when he went to a soccer tournament. A bunch of 5th graders kicked a soccer ball on his face a bunch of times. And his nose was bleeding and his face was all red.
There was this kid, I thought he could be my friend. We were at lunch and we enter a PIN that accesses our account with our money to buy our lunches. So he saw my account and my PIN, and he used to copy that and he used to use my lunch money. I told him to stop on the way home once, and I didn't have enough lunch money, and he got mad. And there was this 3-foot deep ditch I think we passed every day, and he passed me and he grabbed my backpack and threw me into it, and I went home muddy. I told my mom, and she said if he does anything else, tell me. A few days after that, he would punch my cousins and my sister on the way home, and I knew that was too far, so I told my mom and she emailed her teacher, and thank God it got better. I think that's horrible, and I think we should come together today and end bullying. Thank you.
Congressmen and women themselves, I don't think I've been to Capitol Hill, I'd say many times now. I've never seen these types of expressions on their faces.
So there's a long road ahead of us, but each of us, if we contribute and engage each other, we can make a world of difference by ending bullying worldwide. And so the first step of a long journey is taking that first step.
The experiences of the Atfaal were remarkable. They were so excited to be able to go into these majestic buildings and talk firsthand with people who made such important decisions and made the laws of this country. They were able to share those personal stories with the congressional offices, and that's what I think the congressional offices really took to heart. And the responses that we got from those offices were also those of enthusiasm, that these young boys brought energy to their offices and explained to them the real situation that goes on in schools.
So when we took these Atfaal, these Muslim youth, to Capitol Hill, what we wanted them to feel was that they could do anything. And Capitol Hill, Washington, D.C. is an iconic city. It's an iconic place. It's where change happens. It's where our leadership is as a country. And having Atfaal go there, speak their mind, open their heart, and talk about an issue which means something to them, and that's bullying, they affect a change.
I knew I had to do this for a bunch of kids that were bullied.
The message we gave them, the message that they gave Capitol Hill, was that it's not about our suffering, it's not about our plight, it's about our classmates, our friends, the public at large. We are here to defend other Americans against bullying. So recently, there's a presidential candidate who said that a Muslim should not become president.
Should a president's faith matter? Should your faith matter to voters?
Well, I guess it depends on what that faith is. If it's inconsistent with the values and principles of America, then of course it should matter. But if it fits within the realm of America and consistent with the Constitution, no problem.
So do you believe that Islam is consistent with the Constitution?
No, I don't. I do not. I would not advocate that we put a Muslim in charge of this nation. I absolutely would not agree with that.
So in taking these youth, about 170 Atfaal, to the Capitol Hill, to the White House, there's a very strong message to Washington, but also to the hearts and minds of these very Atfaal, these Muslim children, that you can become president. We believe that our organization, our youth group, can produce a worthy Muslim president for this country, and that it will happen. There's nothing you can't do. If there's a beautiful building in DC, you think that you can't go there and can't touch that place, it's wrong, you can. And you will, and you have. And Majlis Khudam al-Ahmadiyya is here to support you. And we expect that when you grow up and you are given the responsibilities and trusted with leadership, that you do the same for your children when you're in our position. You don't forget that. You know, you want to build youth to be able to believe with the kind of faith that David had when he met Goliath, and that is that you can overcome Goliath. It doesn't matter what size he is, how tall he is, or how intimidating he is. And to tie that into with the theme of bullying, you don't have to be afraid of Goliath.